Now I'll show you only this because this was before my recording days. This was a repot, right? I took him out of the pot. He or she, however you choose, would have been buried up to about here. And I raised, well, not so far, probably about here, right? Raised out of the dirt, cut back the branches, and we got a lot of new growth. And as you could see, she is flowering a lot. And this is something that I've noticed with desert roses. Desert roses, the ones that have single petal flowers, tend to flower a lot more, and the flowers last a lot longer than the double and the triple petal flowering desert roses. What I've also noticed with the desert roses, and this is subject to change if anybody has anything that could dispute what I'm saying, but what I've noticed is that the single petal desert roses grow a lot bigger than the cordex, and everything grows a lot bigger than them double and triple petal. Them double and triple petal do get big, so the single petal fellas just come out, there's be out and bud, real flower up the place, you know, and spread nicely. So anybody with anything to dispute what I'm saying, I am welcome. I all is. But this is what I've noticed so far. So in case anybody wondering, you know, there's nothing wrong with going after the double and the triple petal and whatnot. But if you are, so far what I've noticed, if you're looking for a desert rose that grows huge and gives you this humongous out of the way cordex eventually and that kind of thing, you're looking for a single petal flower, one that gives you a single petal. Yeah, so we're moving on. I don't know why I was so thinking about putting plants in the center of the pot. I don't know why I keep putting them on the ends. Granted, they're looking okay, but I mean, I don't know. So, just to give you a little update, this little succulent here grew, and you're seeing this branch here. This branch had these fellows, some of these fellows, right? And then this branch here had some of those, the rest of those fellows. So what I did, I found it was a bit much for the planting, right? It was a little bit much and I cut it back. Why I stopped on this was because you hear certain terms, and I mean, you understand it after you're in it. And you would hear a term for people who dealing up in bonsai and whatnot, something they call dieback. And what I interpret dieback to be is that when you cut a branch, if you want to cut, this was the intended growth that I want to encourage. You're seeing a bud here that coming up. So this is what I want to encourage. Why didn't I cut back to this point here? That's the question. The reasoning is, and what is called dieback, I cut a little above it. So in the event that this starts to die off, it would not affect here. It's not going to reach this far. So probably it's going to die probably till about here. So, and just to be safe, I cut it a little extra above a couple nodes. Nodes are points where you can get new shoots, right? So two things. I cut it before a node, and I left this piece so that if it has to die off, it is not going to, sometimes it dies and goes straight back, depending on the health of the plant. It could go straight back down to roots. We hope we don't get that. And I waited until I see some new growth. And as you can see, if I go in a little bit without fuzzing up the camera, as you could see, you're seeing new growth all along this this branch here, so right. So when I cut it here, if it dies, hopefully it doesn't die back too far, and I get all this growth that's showing up here, grows well and healthy and vigorously, right? To show you exactly what I'm talking about. Let's make sure the camera focuses. If you're seeing this here, I would have made a cut here, and that part has died off, and it died right back to this point here, and it stopped. So this is growth, right? I cut here, and hopefully you're seeing some little bumps. Waiting for the camera to focus a little bit more. All right, that seems to be the best that I could get it. So you're seeing some little bumps. Those are new buds coming out. So we're expecting some growth there, right? But that is the concept of what dieback is. That is the explanation, sorry, of what dieback is. So in the event that you hear that term, I just try to explain it to you in a way that, you know, I mean, nobody sit down and explain it to me. I listen and I listened and try to make sense of all the various terms that people use. So now that I have some kind of an understanding about it, hey, I telling all you all is my friends. So I let all you know what's happening. Right, so we're moving on. We're just going.